Hey, Salvador Briggman here. Welcome back to the Crowdfunding Demystified YouTube channel, and today we're talking about the differences between e-commerce and affiliate marketing. So if you're looking to explore either one of these, you're going to get a kind of a breakdown of the differences and some of the pros and cons to each of them. We're going to cover all of that in today's YouTube video. Okay, let's get straight into it. When it comes to e-commerce, you think of e-commerce, traditionally, there are a few different ways in which you can do. So for example, you could create your own product and you could sell that on a store, like using Shopify or using Magento or WordPress and WooCommerce. You could create your own product and you could sell it out there to the masses, to people all over the world. You could also retail and sell other people's products. So this is kind of like more of a model you see a lot on YouTube when people are talking about drop shipping, right? Or they're talking about white labeling. This is basically where they take a product that already exists, they slap their label on it, or they change it a little bit, they customize it a little bit, and they sell it under their own brand name. That's what I'm referring to when I say e-commerce is basically selling stuff online that you created or selling things online that you have not created, but that you hold the inventory for. And this is a really important part when it comes to the difference between affiliate marketing. So when you're doing e-commerce, literally any kind of e-commerce, almost always you are holding the inventory for the products that you're selling online. So if you have a Shopify store, let's just say, and people are placing orders, you then have to coordinate the logistics, and either with a fulfillment company or doing the fulfillment yourself. You then have to get those products from your inventory or your warehouse to the actual doorstep of the customers. They can open it up, they can be surprised, and they can love it, right? Now, drop shipping is kind of like a little bit different in that you're shipping directly from the manufacturer, the person who's making the product in China or wherever it is that your manufacturer is. Has a little bit of a different model, right? And the key benefit there being you don't have to hold any inventory. It's kind of order on demand. So you don't have to make a massive order, minimum order quantity that you have to hit. Traditionally, if you're doing e-commerce, you gotta do a massive order quantity of a bunch of these products which make up the inventory for your store. And then as people buy it, slowly your inventory goes down, 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 and then you gotta do another minimum order quantity from the manufacturer. With drop shipping, it's kind of like print on demand, or you wanna think of it being shipped on demand based on the orders that are coming in. However, there's a lot of issues with the drop shipping model. Margins are like razor thin. It's really easy to set up a business and just have it be copied. So it's really not good for someone who wants a long, sustainable career when it comes to e-commerce. Now, affiliate marketing is something out there that's even different, I'd say, than traditional e-commerce, because really when I think of e-commerce, I think of an entrepreneur who has to figure out logistics, they have to figure out brand building, they have to figure out where the customers are, they have to wear lots of different hats. Like they're wearing the hat of the marketer, they're wearing the hat of the person who created the product, maybe the designer or the engineer. Maybe they're also wearing the hat of the person who's figuring out fulfillment, logistics, shipping, manufacturing, etc. So they're having to wear a lot of different hats. It's also why you tend to see that many e-commerce companies have a team of people who are working on the particular task. So one person who's in charge of marketing, one person who's in charge of logistics, one person who's in charge of X, Y, and Z, customer service, right? So there are a few different hats that you have to wear in e-commerce. When you are doing affiliate marketing, the only hat that you have to wear is marketing, right? You only have to wear the marketing hat, and that's because you are selling other people's products, and in return, you get a small commission on every single sale you make. So for example, I'm part of the Amazon Associates affiliate program, like many other YouTubers and many other bloggers out there in the audience. And whenever you refer a product, if I mention a camera gear, or if I mention this microphone, right, I mention like a computer, and I send you via a link to Amazon to purchase that, I would get a small commission on a sale if that happens. This is really usually made in tandem with things like passive income, right, where you can make money passively off of YouTube videos that you published before, a blog post that you've written before, and a year later someone stumbles on that blog post you wrote, they go and check out and they're like, oh, okay, this looks like a really good microphone, possibly if I'm trying to start a podcast, I'm gonna go buy that. and boom, I just made a commission from that. So affiliate marketing is great in the way that you only have to wear one hat, which is the marketer's hat. And as a marketer, you're gonna have to learn a couple of things. So you might have to learn social media marketing. You might have to learn a little bit about digital marketing in general, how to put together nice looking graphics. How do you do content marketing? What is your medium that you're going to be sharing information and education? Could that be a blog, a podcast, a YouTube channel? You might also be having your own influencer group if you are an Instagram influencer, or you have a really big Facebook page of some kind. So there's a lot that goes in the way of learning, but you're also going to have to learn a little bit about copywriting. Copywriting is the art of basically selling via the words that you're writing on the page. So where a salesperson is just talking to you, right, and creating images in your head and making you interested in the product, copywriting does the exact same thing, except it does it in advertisements or in sales pages, that kind of stuff. So you're gonna have to learn a little bit about that. This is a good option for you if you really wanna hone in on marketing, but you don't wanna deal with logistics of owning your own product, you don't wanna have inventory, that kind of stuff. But there are also some downsides. So I wanna use this next portion of the video to talk about some of the pros and some of the cons of e-commerce versus affiliate marketing. And specifically, I'm referring to you, number one, we'll say if you're trying to just earn a little bit of extra cash, but number two, if you're trying to become a full-time business owner, maybe you're already involved with some other kinds of ways of making money online, and you're like, how could I actually become a full-time business owner? I'm gonna go through a pro-cons list for each of them in this next segment of the video. Okay, so let's talk about some of the pros of e-commerce. Some of the pros of e-commerce are that you have a tremendous amount of control. And I'm going to kind of segment e-commerce from dropshipping because they're kind of really two very different things, right? So I'm going to talk about traditional e-commerce. What are some of the pros of this? Well, number one, you control inventory, you control marketing, you control brand. You also control the way in which you finance the business, right? So you could do something like Kickstarter where you create a new product design, you get that product designed, you get it made in China or manufactured, and then you raise money on Kickstarter in order to do a minimum order quantity. You raise $100,000 or $200,000, you go and buy that product, and boom, you have a brand pretty much overnight. Right? So e-commerce has a lot of flexibility, and it depends on the way in which you want to sell products online, whether that's creating your own products, like you create a whole new watch design, which lays the foundation in the future for a company that can create many products under that brand name. So we've had a lot of different, e-commerce companies emerge over the years, looking at like watches, for example, like Vincera watches or Movement watches. These are companies that are essentially taking what is traditionally sold through retail outlets and individual stores and taking that to the online experience. So there's so much opportunity here, and you can already see that, you already notice this. A lot of major influencers are really getting into the e-commerce game, taking traditional retailers and bringing them online so they can sell products online. So there's so much opportunity here. So when it comes to the pros, lots more control, really building a foundation that can last into the future, and building a brand in which you can create more products, being able to form a team around what it is that you're doing. So eventually you don't have to be the only one who has all of the weight on your shoulders and all of the stress and all that kind of stuff. Another big pro is that because you control the supply chain, you can also cut costs depending on how you like. So maybe go with a different manufacturer, or decide to source your materials in a different way, which might lower costs. Or if you figure out fulfillment and shipping for a different way, you can lower costs that way. So there's a lot more control when it comes to the supply chain of getting the actual product to the end customer, as well as control over the experience that customer has. What does the packaging look like? What are the marketing inserts? You can get really nitty-gritty with the data in terms of the lifetime value of a customer, how often they're returning to your store, average order values, so much stuff. So there's a lot of pros there. When it comes to the cons, I would definitely say, this is an adult business model, and by that I mean you gotta have business plan, you gotta have Excel spreadsheets, you gotta know your costs, you have to do research. It's not something you can just like snap your fingers and get into overnight. It's gonna take you some time, but that's not a bad thing necessarily. I think it creates a huge defensive moat around your business. It allows you to differentiate it, and because something is hard, that means it's hard for other people as well to replicate what it is that you're doing. So while it's difficult and going through the trenches, it really is a massive competitive advantage for you. Other sort of difficulties are that you do have to have multiple skill sets and multiple hats. That doesn't necessarily mean that you are the one who has to have multiple skill sets, but you might have to build a team around you of people who can help you pull off this greater vision that you have. So let's just say you're like myself and you're really good at marketing, right? Well, then you need to build into a team who's really good at logistics and planning. You might need a team member who's very good at customer service and like the experience of the customer. You might need another team member who's figuring out the invention and the design of new products that you're creating, right? And what are even the new products that we should make based on the feedback that we're getting from our existing customers. So you kind of have to assemble a team much more so when it comes to e-commerce, and that team could have a portion of the company and be a part of your founding team, or you could use the profits that you have from an existing business or from just your early days in e-commerce, you wearing many different hats and figuring everything out, and then you take the profits and you start to hire people who can be incorporated into the company culture, which can be really a long-lasting company. The other major downside that I see when it comes to e-commerce is the fact that there are so many variables within the business model. So for example, let's just say that your factory in a third world country or a different part of the world there's a massive flood in the country and a lot of stuff is damaged, and you're then delayed by months because you now have to find another factory, or your inventory is damaged when it's getting shipped over or in an airplane or something like that. So there are natural world events that can actually affect your business model that are beyond your control, as well as other things that are happening in foreign governments where maybe tariffs are put into place, maybe you're no longer able to do trade with a particular country, maybe that country, their sort of cultural sentiment changes towards the country that you live in, and differences and difficulties happen. Coronavirus is another great example of a global pandemic of something happening that affects e-commerce. So there's a lot of things that can positively or negatively affect your business model when you have lots of variables and you have an actual supply chain. So I would say that is a little bit more of a con when it comes to it. The final downside that I'll mention when it comes to e-commerce is the fact that this is a business that you need to be willing to invest in. And by that I mean, for example, if you're not willing to invest in your business, how the heck are you going to be able to hit a minimum order quantity purchase? Aside from running a Kickstarter campaign, but even if you run a Kickstarter campaign, you need to invest in marketing and sales and advertising for that particular project in that campaign, right? So it's a business model where you have to be willing to invest in the business. And by that I mean not just the inventory, but also other people that you're bringing on to help you, maybe with things like digital marketing, people to help you when it comes to coaches, for stuff that you're just not even aware of when it comes to e-commerce. You need to have some money saved to be able to enter the industry, but that also, again, is great for competition because it means just some kid who's 18 years old can't really compete with you, right? You have to be willing to invest in the business, and that's kind of a con, but that could also be a pro when it comes to it and building something that lasts. Now on the flip side, with affiliate marketing, let's talk about some of the pros and cons with affiliate marketing. The biggest pro I see is that you can get started tomorrow. Really easy to get involved with affiliate marketing, just joining an affiliate program or joining the Amazon affiliate program, and pretty much instantly you get access to all these links, all these creative assets where you can very simply promote products. But there's obviously a flip side to that, which I'll talk about in a bit. Another big pro is that you as the marketer, you only have to worry about one particular job, which is marketing, driving traffic, and getting people to convert. So you can really hone in and master that craft, and it's a really great learning opportunity, I think, as well. Another benefit of affiliate marketing is that when it goes good, it goes really well. Like I remember affiliate campaigns that I was running that were doing multiple thousands of dollars per month, and it felt like magic money. There's really this phrase that I use, that it feels like magic money. And the reason is that you as the marketer are making sales, but you're not having to deal with customer service. You're not having to deal with refunds or returns. You're not having to deal with fulfilling the promises of the actual logistics, right? In delays in shipping or delays in manufacturing. You don't have to deal with new products and thinking about what should you come out with. You don't even have to deal with brand building because the brand is doing it itself. And usually they give you some creative assets, right? So the only thing you have to worry about is creating a tribe or a community and selling to that tribe or community. So there's a lot of benefits in that way of like, you only have to focus on one thing, and you don't have to do all these other segments or put together all these other pieces of the puzzle. There is a double-edged sword to these pros and benefits as well though, which is because affiliate marketing is so easy to get started, so many people are trying to do it, right? And the fact that you go online and you can see lots of affiliate marketers who are making some money, you know, maybe like $400 a month or something like that, like that's encouraging. But at the same time, it's very rare to see people who are only doing affiliate marketing and you're earning a very massive income stream from that, and that's replacing their full-time job. And here's why. As with everything, business is very cyclical, right? And sometimes you might be a part of an affiliate program. I literally was part of an affiliate program and like they just sent me an email being like, hey, we're turning off the affiliate program, right? So I don't have any control as a marketer, and you have to be aware of that. These companies are the ones who are making the program available to you. At any point in time, if they want to, they can close off the program. They can say, you know what, we'll pay you for what it is that you've accrued so far, but we're going to stop the program going forward. I've had this happen to me a few times over the years where an affiliate program is going really well, I'm making pretty good income from it, and then like overnight, either the business goes out of business or the affiliate program closes, or they change up the links and they're like, hey, you got to change up the links in all of your blog posts that you just wrote, which is like maybe 100 articles, right? So you have to, there's a lot of less control over that as a marketer, and you're really depending on the company. And what that means is you really can't depend on the company, right? So as an affiliate marketer, it's more of like you're on quicksand kind of, and you have to like quickly go across in order to make results. And if you stay on one product too long, or something bad happens with your trends, or for whatever reason an article that you wrote no longer is getting traffic in search engines, or your pay-per-click advertising campaign isn't working anymore, you very quickly got to switch to this other kind of business or this other kind of product. And it's almost like you're always hopping from product to product, I find, and really just focusing as well on building the actual audience where you can sell that product to. While it can be amazing for sort of no hassle, less stress with customer service and those kinds of things, I find affiliate marketing to be much more of like a cyclical thing where you can make some good money and then it goes away, you can make some good money, you can find these pockets, right? But it's nothing in the way of like building a strong foundation for a sustainable company. And even if you say something like, hey Sal, I see people out there who are like promoting website hosting, right? And they're writing articles and those kinds of things, and they're making a business model out of it. And that's true that you can build a business model off of this. However, at the end of the day, most of those people eventually want to transition into owning their own products of some kind. Almost always they're looking to transition to more sustainable revenue streams, because they recognize just because you get an article ranked really well, as you say in Google, doesn't mean that a week from now or a month from now, a better marketer replaces your article and then all of a sudden you go down, you plummet down in the search engine rankings, right? So it's always a constant game of monitoring that and making sure that things are going okay. So at the end of the day, at the very least, you want to make sure you have at least an audience that you can sell to, so that you can always replace different products that you're selling. So I hope this video kind of gave you just a broad level idea of some of the differences between e-commerce and affiliate marketing. The biggest one being, what are your responsibilities? What hats do you have to wear? What about the longevity, right, of these different business models? And which one is the best for you based on your current life plan and your current career development and those kinds of things. So when I was getting started, I first got started with affiliate marketing, and that's because I didn't know anything about marketing, and I wanted to experiment, I wanted to learn, I wanted to feel like I can do this, and based on my results, I can make some income, and it was really easy to get started. So I did begin my career with affiliate marketing, and specifically with building up an audience first using my blog. But over time, I recognized that I could not, sustainably build a good foundation for a company around this, because there's just so many variables and so many unknowns. And I don't like the fact that another company can just decide to end their affiliate program, or can decide to pay you less as an affiliate, and you really can't do anything about it. If you want to discuss your specific career aspirations when it comes to e-commerce, if you want to talk maybe even about running a Kickstarter campaign or a crowdfunding campaign, you can book a one-on-one coaching call with me at a link down below, and we can go in an hour-long intensive call. You can kind of think of this as a coaching call, as a mentoring call, and I can share with you what I think would be an incredible timeline for you going forward based on what your specific goals are, and also when it comes to your resources in general and what you're trying to accomplish with your business. So go and book a one-on-one coaching call down below. Also, you can check out some of the other links in the description for cool things when it comes to free courses courses that I have that are out there that can help you accelerate towards your goals, some of the books that I've written. I hope you enjoyed this video. Come subscribe if you want more content like this. Give me a thumbs up and leave a comment down below if you have any questions.